The thing is, Paul, nothing that happens in Abu Dhabi affects, like, the actual story. None of it does. You could literally... It happens an hour in, and you could lift it out. You could lift it out!
We've got Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille can't help us with this.
He's right here. He's already killed Samantha. He's taken a spine as a trophy.
Look, no Predator-like Shaq is going to help us with this fucking plot. It's just crazy that you would spend so much of your movie in something that doesn't further any character actions.
Please don't make me talk about this anymore. What would you do? Just start it with Big and Cassie? Yeah.
Big and Cassie. I would start it with Big and Cassie, and then I would immediately kill off Big.
Okay.
And have Carrie return to...
With what? With what? A truck?
With a Shaq attack.
Okay.
Comes in with a Shaq attack.
Misses a free throw.
He does, and it fucking takes off Mr. Big's head.
Okay, brilliant.
And Carrie has to return to the dating scene with a heavy conscience and an even heavier purse full of dildos. And then it's all crazy mad times from there. Also, Shaq also killed all the other husbands and children. Children and
especially
men.
Children. So, pursued by Shaq. Newly liberated.
From the shackles of husbands and kids, but newly shackled as well to the death wish that is having angered Shaq. How did they anger Shaq, I wonder?
God, also a bigger question: why has he never used "you're shackled now" as a catchphrase?
It is a bit unwieldy for the basketball court. Consider yourself shackled,
sirs.
Oh, I lost the game. I lost several games whilst I was saying that. Welcome to One Good Thing, the podcast that actually didn't need recuperating at the Veterans Hospital. They had all the medicines we needed. Thanks, Shaq. I'm Paul Salt.
I'm a lady, and I love Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, that proves it then. It is still Recommendations Month.
Indeed it is, and this gem comes from Launching the Pilot podcast. You know them. They waited 83 episodes before recommending we watch this dying flock of birds circling an area they hope is the place they were born, but suffering no small confidence crisis, so this isn't just a bin with some chips in it.
Was that the first line of Catherine Zeta-Jones in The Haunting?
Well, anyway, you've got my briefcases. My briefcases? Yeah, I travel with briefcases, Paul. Multiple briefcases. Why don't you use one general suitcase, they say?
They only needed to steal one, and they knew it would render you useless.
I wish I was Carrie. Or Cassie. I don't care. Either one.
Today we shall be discussing steel.
To protect those who can't fight back.
Gang still messing with him?
Worse than ever.
One man must stand up for the people.
Maybe the police aren't enough. Maybe we need a new kind of firepower for ourselves.
Got you, bro.
What exactly am I supposed to be doing here?
We make our own counter weapons to take out the ones in the streets. To stop an enemy without hurting them.
And become a new breed of hero.
It might get a little dangerous.
Yeah. It's Kenneth Johnson's 1997 superhero action movie starring Shaquille O'Neal, acclaimed basketball man.
/ Alien Nation reference vehicle.
Always. Critics reacted to steel like a soufflé to literally any noise in a 10-mile radius, apparently.
That's soufflés. Rob
Vo, over at Flipside Movie Emporium.
Good name.
That's where you want to be. Asks, why does Hack...
Nice.
Shaq O'Neal, famous Muslim spiritual leader, who, above all, preaches the dunk, asks, why does... Oh, fuck, I almost did it again. It's because it's does. Like, I'm really fucking up the double S's here.
Okay, you have to emphasize why does. Why does Shaq?
Why does Shaq hate us so much? It worked. And it's not that he hates us. He just can't relate to us. You know, like tiny mortal men who, you know, little pink guys who get old and die. You know, it's like he's a regular man amongst gerbils. That's how he is amongst fellow human beings.
At what point did the review end and your analysis come on? I'm really not sure. Most conversational review on OGT history.
It's just his fucking pages of that.
Because
another thing. No, don't hang the phone up yet, Susan. The thing is, slightly less postmodernly, Peter Sack over at the San Francisco Chronicle, says the Los Angeles Lakers center at 7'1" is appealing and breathes much-needed large life into a tolerable stinker of a film. Bit of a downward turn on that review at the end there. Good. Stinker, good. I say good. The last good is of a film. He acknowledged it was a film. The public aren't too much more inclined to help this film back into its wheelchair. Samuel, over at Amazon, says in a review titled, DC, get your shit together.
When was this?
He says, well, actually, yes, this is important. Just another example of how DC doesn't know how to make a movie that doesn't have Superman or Batman. That review was written in 2014.
Oops.
2 years. Yep. Well, don't worry, because DC's about to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
God, at least they can still make Batman and Superman movies. But to be honest, that was after Superman 3 through 5.
It is also after Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, so I guess he's working on a sort of...
Very selective memory.
One and done basis.
Anyway, Shaq's the three man.
Oh, free to a man, free in the bush, free, yo. Film's a shit, mate.
The film has 12% on Rotten Tomatoes and 2.8 on Rotten Tomatoes. They wrote Rotten Tomatoes twice. Great.
Cool.
It has
Good
both.
job. Good podcast job.
Writer-director Kenneth Johnson decided to go down to South Central LA to get advice on some of the dialogue in this film to ensure that it was authentic. Warner Brothers decided that was easier and more effective than hiring a black screenwriter. So, yeah, I think it worked well. No problems there. So, Paul, you homie. What's one fly thing about this wax sitch that made you wish it was popping off in this hood, bitch?
I hate you. No idea what that was.
All of those words happen in this film. Even bitch.
Ooh. Not from Shaq, though.
No, not from Shaq. The man's a gentleman.
He's such a nice guy.
He's a gentleman fireman and a basketballman to boot.
Gentleman ballban. Ballban? Ballman. Ballban. Fuck off, Paul, me.
Both Pauls. Fuck you.
Can we
Especially
do
the one
what's
that's
a good... I need a palate cleanse. With water?
Let me tell you about some atrocities I've witnessed.
I hate water.
So, the movie starts, and we're in the middle of the forest, and some trees are getting pushed over, and there's a rumbling, and there's a rustling, and Willem Dafoe's running about the place trying to get out of the way. What's this coming through the trees? It's Shaquille O'Neal, 7'1", basketball man.
Eating the trees.
Flicking them aside.
For the energy to keep moving.
He desperately needs.
There's a tank.
Behind Shaq, obscured by Shaq.
Yeah. Get out of the way. It's a military operation. Sorry, guys. I'm just Shaq. Yeah,
I'm just happy to be here. It's great. Does anyone want like some sweets that I've got? Okay.
They're all unwrapped in his pocket, in his shorts, his basketball shorts pocket as well. So they're all
Paul...
sweaty and stuck together.
Why was he wearing his basketball uniform in this sequence? Is what I want to know. He's meant to be a military weapons man.
Shackled to the brand.
Shaq, please get changed into costume. Sorry, coach. It's it's fine. It's fine.
Whatever. Action. I mean, do good balls. Good ball skills now.
That's what players say.
So Shaq moves out of the way, and it reveals that there's a guy with a gun, and a very tall guy. I wonder who that is. And he shoots the gun at the tank, and it spaffs open the little tracks.
Yeah.
What do tanks have? Tracks?
Yeah.
You strike me as a man who's read a military history book or two.
It's movie stringy things.
Ah, okay, technical term there. Slow
Caterpillars.
down, Dexter. Slow down, tank.
Words! He's a weapons manufacturer in the middle of that war zone, the woods.
Yeah.
He makes weapons, but he makes weapons that aren't going to kill, just blow up tanks and pulverize people's bones using sound waves. Like that.
Oh, they wouldn't kill Shaq, I suppose, would they?
Yeah, that's difficult for Shaq, actually. It's like, I want to make something that's not going to kill people, but I can't relate to people. What are they like? Would a 20-foot fall kill them? Wouldn't kill me.
Shaq O'Neal. But anyway, Nathaniel Burke, he isn't too pleased with all this. He is trying to impress a senator who's also there for a weapons inspection.
She's there for the weapons inspection. He goes up to her and says, "Hey, what's your security clearance?" 10?
Big.
Oh, that's pretty good. What's your name, by the way? Who are you? I probably should have asked. Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, here's all the secret settings on this weapon that you can totally play around with.
Here, look at them. They're on my eyes, he says, and doesn't blink for the rest of the movie.
Shaq puts on a comically small hat, and then...
and then tragedy strikes. Nathaniel Burke asked to be the one to demonstrate this the sonic boom weapon, and rather than just shoot from the normal thing. Shaq also built it to have the 11 setting, didn't he? He built it to have the Danger Will Robinson setting. And Nathaniel Burke slides the slider up to red. And Shaq does a wonderful double take. Just as he realises that he set it to that setting that he probably shouldn't have built into the machine. he fires it. Yeah. He does. He Tay Diggs it all up and does a sonic boom into one building. The senator
bounces
dies.
Back at them. He runs towards his friend, and at that point we cut to the future where he's on trial for that crime. But don't worry that the last scene didn't end properly, because we're going to get a flashback to it to find out how it properly ended.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Was he on trial? I thought Burke was on trial and he was testifying. Yeah.
He was doing dunks in the background.
Not free throws. Yeah. Okay. Oh, very... Jury.
Your Honour, I would like to object to, nice!
Polite smattering of applause from the jury.
I did it!
Finally got a dunk. Finally did a film dunk.
That's what I call a super dunk. That's very good, Shaq. So about the negligence suit.
Burke's negligence killed the senator that he was trying to impress and broke the back of Sparky Sparks.
No! Later on in a hospital scene, she'll say, I'll come visit you when I'm back on my feet. And the doctor just kind of goes, ha!
Which is the best bit. That was when I realised what kind of film Steel was going to be.
She just fucking looks over at Shaq and is like,
When fucking the doctor played by Leslie Nielsen looks up and...
Ixnay on
Don't count on
back
it.
on her feet, nay. She goes off to some hospital somewhere. Nobody really cares until later, until he needs something.
Yeah.
He goes back to his neighbourhood, to the hood, where he's going to play b-ball with his friends. Until a couple of guys come along who are up to no good. Oh, I don't remember the rap well enough to do this bit any longer.
They do start making troubles in his neighbourhood. He gets in one little fight and his gran gets scared and says, shush, you're going to ruin the soufflé. Doesn't rhyme. It's a terrible song.
Terrible rap.
Yeah, his grandma is engaged in some quixotic attempt to master French cooking, basically through the medium of whispering, so as not to deflate the soufflé.
I think the cookbook is just taking the piss out of her. You must remain totally quiet. Also, when you're doing l'escargot, always be on one leg, or they'll get away.
Have you tried folding your own croissant yet? It's very difficult. You get and full of mud.
You must smear this into your trousers, and then you may prepare the dough.
And then you spin around very, very quickly. Yes. Read that back to me, please, Pierre. It says, and spin around very quickly. Delete that.
Boys, what are you doing upstairs? Nothing, Mum.
God, Mum!
Yes.
Write a French cookbook! God!
I told you!
Anyway, she's doing that and she's taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
Shaq's little brother comes in, or cousin, or some shit.
Little kid's going to be around Shaq for a while.
He's super street.
Yeah, he's whack.
What are you, some kind of scud or something?
Nah, you mean stud. Hey, why you player hating? Man, I got all kind of crazy honey sweating me.
He's whack and he's thack and...
He's whack and he's Shaq.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It's going to be a Shaq whack.
Oh, shit. A Shaq attack. Shaq a whack. Wacky back. Wacky back Shaq tack. He's not working in the military anymore.
No.
That's the crux of this conversation. He's seen too much killing or crippling.
Yeah.
So he goes and works in a factory
where they manufacture 90s pop. Meanwhile, the slimy villain guy goes to a legitimate businessman with legitimate business hair, shipping guns around the place using arcade machines because it's the 90s now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing less suspicious than extraordinarily heavy arcade machines that don't work.
They're heavy
But they're heavy anyway. What's an M16 or two?
Yeah, exactly. Or 8. Some grenades.
So, this evil bloke, has decided to leak the guns onto the street ahead of an illegal auction of the guns because...
Well, it's advertising, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
They're advertising and they televise all of these things, or they get the news to do it. Either way.
They televise it themselves
because
on Terrorist TV. Coming up next on Terrorist TV...
The gun guys.
Terrorists say the craziest jihads.
Up next on Terrorist TV, black guy with the deepest voice you've ever seen.
Oh, fuck, I love that
heard.
guy. I wrote him down. Kevin Greedo.
Your new recruits together?
Not yet. We're still missing a couple of heads, but we're ready to start showing off your weapons.
Oh, fuck me.
Fuck, he's the best. He's the Tone Loc of this movie.
So Nathaniel Burke is funneling military-grade laser weapons or some shit and sonic boom guns into this arcade tycoon who also does weapons. And they commit a bank robbery.
Yes, and the kid, Shaq, and the kid are in a female cop's car. The three of them are in this car doing a ride-along. And suddenly there's a call on the radio for, like, we've got an F-13 going on in downtown. And the kid's like, yes, let's get ready to rumble. F-13 is actually the code for public nudity. Oh. Well, let's get ready to fumble?
I regret nothing. Anyway, says the lady
cop.
This seems fine. Come with me, why don't you? And she drives two civilians to an armed robbery, the site of an armed robbery, in her car.
One of them's Shaq, which is the equivalent of 5 cops.
So she's dismissed, dishonourable discharge for breaking severe code of conduct rules, but it's lucky that Shaq was there because he saves the day, basically.
The movie cripples its third female character in half an hour.
Take that, Cassandra, says Alex Johnson, or whoever his fucking name is. Break it with me again, will you?
It's fucking amazing.
Shaq drags the woman out and then goes off after the remaining burglar that they left in the bank.
Yes, he chases the remaining burglar into a train yard, and the guy who works at the train yard comes out to say, no, you can't go in there, it's train smashing time. Oh, Barry, can we stop the train smashing into each other? No. So they run about the train smashing.
Look, if you want to stop train smashing time, you're going to have to go through me. You're going to have to call the local authority. And do you know what kind of red tape's involved in trainy smash time?
The mayor loves it.
So Shaq chases him through the trains, and very slowly he does some great rolling out of the way of trains.
Yeah, the guy keeps trying to shoot him with his laser gun, and it's just, I've written the note, how are you missing Shaq? The human being who most closely resembles the side of a barn. Oh, he's shifty.
But yeah,
he's so crafty and slick.
If you're hitting the train and Shaq is to the left of the train, you don't have to worry. Just move left, and then you'll hit the next thing, which is Shaq,
which is the same size as the train.
They knock out Shaq just before he can find out when the weapon is, and he goes, "Where the fuck were you?" So, well,
the next day, Shaq goes and calls his old general friend in order to say, "Hey, what are these weapons doing on the street?" And the general guy's like, "Is this a secure line?" And Shaq says, "What difference does that make?" Well, let me just explain the basics as to how the military works.
Cut! Did I do okay? Shaq, you got to stop ad-libbing that line. It's not in the script.
It doesn't make any sense. And it makes the character look like an idiot.
Baby.
Hey,
John Henry worked in the army. He knows why he knows what's this like. What's this sort of Jewish stereotype voice that I'm doing?
Come on, you fucking know. Then he goes into the bar. And everybody laughs at him. Just like, haha, look how physically imposing this guy is.
Yeah.
Look how intimidating and massive he is. Johnny, please don't hurt me.
We've got a gun. This should do. And he goes out and he decides to do something about it.
He better get on it too, because the villains have got their own schemes. They're putting a web page together, and it's going to be ready by the end of the week.
Got that new web page ready?
Be online in a week. We'll be wired for the world.
Ah!
Yep. How will we keep up with this processing speed? I know, says John Henry Shaq. I found a motherboard that's 500 megahertz processing speed. Slow down, then.
The government won't allow us to have this.
God won't stand for it. He'll find us, they say.
Meanwhile, Shaq he decides he's going to need some help. So he
abducts.
He goes to the fucking woman's hospital and says, "Did you get the wheelchair I sent?" She's like, "Yeah, that's actually how I found out I couldn't walk. That showed up. Thanks, Shaq." And he says to her, "Look, do you really want to stay here looking at these filthy windows with these worthless veterans? These windows are filthy. Come with me. I'll smash them. I'm going to fuck this place up. I'm going to fuck this place up and then abduct you."
And everyone fucking hoots and cheers and high-fives each other.
What are you doing? No! Stop it, Irons! I don't want to go!
Listen, Sparks, sometimes you don't get a choice about things. This here's a prime example of shit happening.
No! Me down!
Well, clearly believing that the two of them are going to go home and fuck.
Well, the nurse comes in and is just like, where's Sparky gone? You'll never guess what. Some fucking guy just took her.
A big black guy just came in.
He just
smashed the windows.
I'm taking this woman. He smashed the fuck out of everything and then just ran off with her.
Oh shit, let's go and get her. Where's her wheelchair? Oh no, he took the wheelchair.
Don't worry. Well, technically it was his.
That's fine. There's no issue with that. That's fine.
He's going to need even more help than that, and luckily Shaft is here. Richard Roundtree, Shaft himself. And,
holy shit.
Yep, Shaq and Shaft and Sparks are going to fucking form a Gem and the Hologram style pop band.
Did you say Shark?
Probably. Shark, can you come over here, please?
What news from Shaquille O'Neal? From the dunk game.
What word is the dunk game?
So, with Sparks' excellent technical know-how and Shaq's streetwise gumption and old Shaft man's 500 megahertz processing speed, they create the next superhero to finally take down the street crimes.
What are you guys making in here? Exactly what this neighborhood needs. Weapons.
No, it's different, says Shaq. It's me, Shaquille O'Neal.
During the manufacturing process, Sparks falls out of her wheelchair, and the guys think about coming over and helping, but then they're like, no, see where she's going with this. She's just like, could you guys help me back into my wheelchair? I thought it would be like a character building moment for you.
Yeah, you have a moment over there.
No,
I'm crying.
Independent living isn't really about doing everything for yourself. I mean, I have a spinal injury. It would probably fuck me up quite a lot to try and wriggle my way back into that fucking wheelchair. I'm pretty sure I can still be an independent person with the support I need to actually, like, do things that other people take for granted.
Yeah, but you're in the army.
Train you for this shit. Get the fuck up, bitch.
Do you remember that time when Sarge smashed all of our spines with a hammer and said, get into that chair, private? Do you remember that?
Also, if this is about me proving myself, how many times do I need to do this? Because I'm going to keep falling out of this fucking thing, because I'm clearly an idiot. So,
well, no, because
is it every time?
Technical know-how, Paul. She did it once, and then she nailed herself in.
Oh, I get it.
So next,
don't fall out of it.
Well, next time the wheelchair comes down with her, and then the next time she'll install an Inspector Gadget style like extendo glove that will push her back up to seat's position. Yeah, exactly. Shaq's got this all planned, Paul. Don't take this moment away from Sparks.
Well, there's clearly a spark going on between Spark and Shaq, because Shaft, fuck me, this movie. Shafty Shaft.
Shaft.
How are you getting on with those drug dealers, Shaft? He comes in. He says, hey, Shaq, I'm Shaft. About Sparks. Fuck this. I noticed there's something going on between you and Sparks. Bit of a spark, you might say. And he's like, well, what is the line? It's something like, well, her father's dead. Her mother drinks herself in and out of rehab. And then he's just like smiling at him like, you're in there. In and out of rehab, you say. Go for it, mate.
Oh, you know what they're like. Total goers, mate.
So, yes, they've built a big metal suit and also a big hammer.
And it's very cool, isn't it, Paul?
Oh, it looks perfect. It's like Iron Man.
It's everything I could have dreamed of, says Shaq.
Looking at a mirror, giving himself a thumbs up.
My heart breaks, and then Shaq goes out to fight crimes. Future Cop goes out to fucking...
Future Cop?
To go and solve all the crimes. And he stops some hoodlums taking somebody's wallet, and then he gets shot a lot. Good thing no one shoots him in the face.
After he fixes the mugging, he fixes it. He awkwardly backs onto a fucking escalator that's going up, and it's so great, but
gorgeous.
Then he turns to run up the escalator. You just know he got tuckered out by the time before he got to the top. So just the image of
sprinter, is he?
Just the image of him running up like 10 steps or so and then just really slowing down again.
Look, say what you want about this film. They never patronised the audience and tried to convince us that Shaq was anything other than a plodder.
A fucking god of a man, but not an elegant
Not a
being.
sprinter, not a gazelle, no. He goes and fixes some more crimes. He does some more crimes, right? And
Yes.
he's chased by the police, like Batman.
He is chased by the police, very much like Batman, and very much like Batman, he uses his grappling hook to very slowly get away into the sky.
Yeah, there's a blistering rooftop chase.
Oh,
Yeah.
blistering.
He races home and he hides in some trash, and the police...
Yeah, sorry. He gets out of the bin and sort of saunters away from the bin, and then the cops around the corner. He's like, "Oh fuck!" It's like, did you think you had lost them? You just fell off the roof.
I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed lately. I thought bins meant safety. To you, maybe, Shaquille O'Neal.
He's got Sparks on the radio to give him advice, including turning.
Oh, because he's got a motorbike hidden in the bins. He just fucking shows it with a motorbike because Batman.
It's the Steelmobile. She sets all of the traffic lights to green, killing hundreds.
Yeah.
In traffic pileups.
But it's okay.
He escapes into a hollowed out trash cave, which
Yeah.
they built when?
500 megahertz processor pool.
They actually found it.
Remember Windows 95? It was pre-bugs, pre-patch. It was great.
Oh, God.
Do anything with that
Yeah.
processor. I could play black and white on Windows 95, Paul. Could you do that on Windows ME?
Nope, couldn't.
No.
Couldn't even turn it on. So, the first night of crime fighting went well.
Yeah. B+.
Sparks is printing out the data so they can analyze it. Which is what I do. I print out the data so I can do computations with it away from that pesky computer thing.
Slow down, Spark, says Shaq. Not too much fun in one go. Let's just relax and enjoy the fact that we did crimes right tonight. That happens. There's some more bad guy stuff, I guess. Oh, they're probably right now starting to wonder who the fuck this lunatic is in a rubber
Who the
suit.
fuck this 7-foot tall black man with a goofy smile might be?
Oh, even like I'm Nathaniel Burke, super science genius, is having trouble with this. Anyway, how's that website coming? Oh, we just got the cash to do.
I just
they say.
I'm just trying to get the middies in.
Pretty much at this stage, Nathaniel Burke, it's obvious that it's Shaq, and
because people have eyes.
They try and set him up a bit. So the police come in just in the middle of a wonderful whispered conversation between the Gran and oh man, I keep going to say Luke Cage.
I wonder why.
Can we just call him Luke Cage?
Yeah, why not? They come in by awkwardly and terribly climbing through a fucking kitchen window first. Like, they don't breach the door first. They start with the kitchen window guy. Tony, you make the entry, and we'll exfiltrate you afterwards.
The whispered conversation interrupted with ka-chung. Is that the window? Oh, I mean, I got the sink window, Barry.
Oh, my knees! No. Okay, I'm in. You're under arrest. You haven't got a chance. Oh, fuck, I really did it. I've done it in.
These give Shaq ample time to pick him up and throw him across the room into a desk. And the destruction of his grandma's kitchen commences.
Yeah.
Luckily, the police come in to put a stop to this. They tie him up.
They tie him up, and Barry, who was doing no good for anyone. And they take him down to the station, but nobody wants to ID him because he's lovely and he's Shaq. There's a scene where they successfully managed to upload their website, and I've got a fucking note here that there is a sequence in this movie in which neo-Nazis discover the joy of the internet.
They're just in their...
Welcome, guys.
They're just in their lair.
This has basically been made for you. Have at it. Everything. Please comment on every video. Just settle in. You're going to be here a while.
Yeah, so the internet hype is really building up. It's like Arctic Monkeys. Shaq's in jail, and he's like, please let me out of jail. And the police officer in charge of the jail goes, no. Ring, ring. Oh, yes. Hello, Sergeant. Yes.
Out of jail. Shaq? Definitely Shaq.
Well,
sorry, let Shaq out of jail. Is that Shaq? Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal. Out of jail. Out of this jail that he's in now. Okay.
Oh, sure.
You're free to go, sir.
Thanks to Sparks and Shaft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sparks is using a voice emulator to make us sound like a not Sparks.
Now he's back. They have to do the showdown
Shaq's
now
back.
They're an hour and 20 minutes into the film.
Yeah. Best not test anyone's patience here. It's steel. Let's,
yeah, for God's sake.
Do you hear that, Michael Patrick King? Wherever you are, you fucking asshole.
You fucking prick.
You monster, you fucking animal.
Sex and the City 2 needed a Sparks, I think.
Yeah. to get us out of it.
So they go to the warehouse. There are some neo-Nazis there. There's a Cuban revolutionary.
Shaq gets disabled in some way and is on the floor, awkwardly rolling over to look at things on his left and on his right.
I think it's just easier for him to stay down at this stage. The effort
takes a lot
that
of
is
energy.
involved in that.
He keeps 3 bacon sandwiches on his bedside table so he can eat one at each stage of him getting up. He needs the energy.
Yeah, not a bacon sandwich in sight. So what are you going to do? He's going to play it cool. He's just going to conduct the rest of this scene from an awkward sort of half lying down position. Which is really great dynamics.
Yep.
The really evil, sleazy, long-haired arcade guy gets shot by Nathaniel Burke.
Yeah. Oh, Sparks has been captured.
Oh, they captured Sparks.
But she uses her rocket-powered wheelchair to get out, and Shaq looks in the sort of fucking trail that she's blazed and smiles.
Yeah.
You know. Oh,
yeah.
She totally fucking abandoned me.
Oh, but this isn't before. So Nathaniel Burke is going to do the big test to prove the might of the weapons, and Shaq goes, "Oh, my hammer's better." Nathaniel Burke, super genius, goes, "But it isn't. Let me try it." Oh, yeah, especially don't twist the red bit.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what I'm going to do next? I'm actually going to not follow your advice and press that button immediately.
Oh, we went wrong. Curses.
It didn't work out for me.
He fails. The crime people hate gunfire. They leg it. There's a kind of a fight, and they throw a grenade at Shaq, and he's got to throw it through a very small hole, and he's no good at the free throws.
Recurring joke.
Yeah, but then he does it, and then he wins.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and that's that.
Yay!
And then his grandma finally got the French restaurant that she wanted. Not quixotic after all. Just
regular
exotic.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's the pause. And it's called Black and Blur. And there's a really knowing samurai cop style conversation at the end where everybody's talking very cryptically about the identity of steel, and everyone's looking knowingly at each other for different conversations. And then it turns out that Sparks has modified her wheelchair so that it stands her up, and then it finishes with the song Stand Up playing over the end credits.
Oh, yay!
Stand up. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. Come on, stand up.
And I just have to say that song played about 3 times whenever there was something wheelchair related. The song Stand Up. You gotta stand up. Just started
Believe
playing.
in Shaq. The power of Shaq
was,
compels you.
Even Rocky had a montage. It was amazing.
It was really good.
It was on the nose, and then that's the end of Steel.
It was on my nose, it was on the tip of my tongue, and it was over. So, a little context before we get too far into our thoughts on Steel. The movie was released in 1997, the year after Batman and Robin basically killed the fucking DC in general. I think it stopped superheroes in its tracks. It was also a time of basketball players working in movies, because this is also the year after Space Jam.
Which went so well.
Which went so fucking well. I think we can all agree with that. In comic books, it was a tumultuous time. It was the death of Superman storyline going on. Mm-hmm. So they had effectively killed off Superman, and it wasn't 100% that they were going to bring him back, even though, obviously, to anyone, Steel actually emerged as a character trying to take over from Superman. Previously saved by Superman. Superman then says to him, he says to Superman, "How can I pay you back for this?" And he says, "Live a life worth saving." Which is kind of a dick move of Superman. Like, fuck you don't know me.
Make it worth my while, mate.
I've got 3 cousins who depend on me for emotional support. The thing is, I let a mother of 5 fall to her death whilst I was saving you, so the question is, do you mean more to anyone than 5 people's mums? 'Cause that's basically it. 5 people's mums died in that fire. You better do something pretty fucking special, Sunshine.
Doesn't even matter that she was a cock. Yeah. Which is a cool, a cool origin story, I think. There's good emotion there, and he's trying to live up to the reputation of Superman, which is difficult.
Yep.
And in this,
he doesn't want his weapons on the street.
And so he puts on a big bloody rubber suit that's steel.
The point of all that context is this really needed to be something that was going to rejuvenate interest in DC. There were hopes that this was going to tie into the Nicolas Cage Superman movie that was on its way, directed by Tim Burton.
Oops.
Yep, whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Oh, this was the same year as Spawn as well,
Same year as Spawn, same year as Blade, so it's an exciting time for black superhero movies. Yeah, so with all that in mind, how'd you find Steel?
Loved it.
Yeah,
it's great. It was fucking great. There was maybe a 20-minute period in the middle there where I was losing interest because because
it was
wonderful,
the same action
goofy
sequence several times
Yeah,
over.
the goofiness is what I loved from the beginning. Shaq is just the biggest goofball.
Yeah,
he's so nice and charming, and everybody fucking loves him, and he never does wrong.
Yeah,
and he's always morally on completely the right side. He never has any fear about standing up for what he believes in.
Yeah,
and yet every bit of it feels completely earned. I loved the fact that he was that character. If it was any other actor, it could have been the smarmiest thing.
I think the lack of acting ability on Shaq's behalf, I think actually really helped with that.
We got a golden opportunity here.
Opportunity?
We can't turn our backs on this kind of potential firepower.
Maybe you can't. But after what happened to Sparks, I can. See for yourselves. I'll let my hammer speak for itself.
Yeah.
It's just Shaq, he's giving it a go.
It's just,
so in the same way that he's meant to be just this really good community guy who everybody knows and kind of loves, and he's trying to be a superhero, but he fails a lot. It's kind of the same thing with his acting in this. It's like, he's giving it a go.
Yeah.
How can you not be charmed?
Yeah, I just don't have any ill feelings towards him at all.
Sure. The movie around him is ridiculous and often quite incompetent, and that just makes it hilarious. He looks ridiculous in that costume. They don't know how to film him to make.
So dumb.
They don't know how to film him to make him look good. There's an identical sequence in Batman Begins where Shaq jumps from one roof to another and misses the jump and falls down a bit. This happens to Batman his first night out after he's met with Gordon and held a stapler to his head.
Yeah.
But whereas one is sort of using motion and the camera to create a sense of speed with a very unwieldy character.
Yeah.
The other is just shooting this fucking massive guy, this lumbering guy in an awkward outfit as he slowly runs across a rooftop. And it's hilarious.
It's a static shot.
Every time.
You view every inch of that failure. If you're going to put a guy in a big suit, you have to film it in a certain way so it's not just a static shot of him moving awkwardly from one bit to the next. Concentrate on the force of the blows and things like that, maybe. So somebody's coming up to him. You need like a close-up on the hammer impacting someone's body and just flying a fucking mile.
Sure.
He's got power there. He's not a speed. He's not a dancer.
Yeah, or just do... what came to mind is actually the Josh Trank over-the-shoulder shot with Dr. Doom. Just give him some momentum there, and the best way to do that is not to show too much of it. But it was funny bad for so much of it, because you do have fucking Shaq dangling from a wire as he gradually is raised into the air. So it's quite humorous in a lot of places. It's delightful because it takes itself so seriously, but it's also very well-meaning, which I think helps. Yeah. It's a well-meaning film that has a positive message about a community superhero who's looking out for the kids. And that makes it so much easier to take when it's just a massive floppy failure.
Big floppy fuck up. If this would have come out now, you'd savage it. I'm not going to look on it fondly. I'm going to be frustrated because we're living through this. We've been through Steel. We've had Spawn. It's all gone.
So you have perspective. If you had paid £15 to go see this in an IMAX trailer, maybe you'd maybe you'd be less happy about it. I think this is a so bad it's good movie. Definitely. I think it has a lot going for it. And I don't know if there's much else to say except to get on to what those things are. Quick fire. Quick fire. I like the 90s action music opening and the Cold Steel.
Yes.
I mean, that fucking theme tune, you're going to hear a lot of it in this
Mission
movie.
Impossible Light.
But yeah, it was all the way through.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something else.
Oh,
most notably when he was chasing that lone burglar through the trains.
I was thinking of the super.
Right.
I was thinking of the super obvious fanfare they give him whenever he does anything remotely hero-like.
Yeah. The soundtrack was fucking rad. The heist bit is the Ocean's 11 style music that's playing.
Well,
it's so smooth.
Quincy Jones was a producer. I don't know if that helped.
I'm sure it did.
I'm sure it did. He got his hands all over that deck.
Anytime anyone squared up to Shaq was great. Because
why would you fucking do that? My next good thing is just Shaq smile.
Yeah, I've written that down a few times.
Yeah, that's the real Shaq attack.
I like the whole conceit of him missing shots throughout. I thought it was fun, just poking fun at himself there.
Yeah, it's a little cute thing, especially since it's based on...
Never could make the free throws.
Yeah, especially since apparently that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like, he sucks at that, apparently, which is cute.
That was also a joke made in Grown Ups 2, I think.
Oh, was it? Nah.
Yeah, fuck Grown Ups 2.
Fuck Grown Ups 2, though.
So late to the party.
Still
the
got
Shaq party. There's no one left at the Shaq party. It's just a guy with a fag hanging out his mouth, sweeping up old streamers. Cold sausage rolls left, Adam Sandler, if you want them. Oh, you do want the cold sausage rolls.
You nasty boy.
I'm not surprised.
I'm going to throw them at Kevin James.
Is that Adam Sandler's noise?
Yeah, it's Bruce... I think so,
No,
but
Bruce,
now it's become Bruce Dern. I really like the pinger poke. The pinger folk. Hello, I'm Billy of the pinger folk. The finger poke thing that he and Sparks do. It's their little bonding thing. It's very much like the face-off face stroke.
That's exactly what I wrote.
Yeah, they do a little finger circling thing and then poke each other's fingers, and it's incredibly cute. I like to think they worked it out themselves.
Yeah, I like the two of them together. I thought they were cute.
Yeah. I mean, we need to name this actress.
Annabeth Gish.
Annabeth Gish. Well, she was great. She was a spunky little firework, and she
Yeah.
brought alive every scene she was in.
I liked her very, very much in this.
Yeah.
I also really liked the hard-ass right-hand woman that bad guy had until she was killed in an elevator accident. She was a tough cookie.
This might just be me. See if you felt this way. Early on, when the main bad guy is squaring off against Shaq, they're having a big heated argument, and the guy comes in and says, "You stupid," and then stops himself. Do you think the next word out of his mouth is going to be a racial slur? I got that vibe that maybe there was meant to be like, there were kids watching, so let's not go overt, but let's just imply this guy might be a racist.
Ooh, maybe.
And he stopped himself because he was like, "Ooh, I'm in a place with other people. Better not expose my inner ugliness.
Better use my outside voice."
I don't know. It's just if that's a vibe, then I kind of like it because Shaq's like response of just sort of steel-eyed, "No, fuck you," about to say, was badass. It's canon
in this film.
It's canon now.
When Burt goes in to pitch his idea to the evil guy, Kevin Grievo, the guy with the incredibly deep voice, is standing next to Burke with his arms crossed in a very attitudinous way. It's lots of just fucking full of sass. He's got his arms folded halfway up his body.
I've also noted of Kevin Grievo that apparently he has beautiful eyes.
Oh,
I felt the need to note.
That's how you get a part in Steel, my friend. I loved everything with the grandma. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And the whispering conversations I thought were fucking brilliant.
Only hope seems to be that. Still, boy. Just a long drink of water. Big, tall, like you.
Kinda tired, think we'll get some sleep.
What's that in your ear, son?
It's a hearing aid.
You never had no hearing problem.
Huh?
I said you never had. Don't you play with me, boy.
There's just something really cute about the way that conversation plays out. But also when we're introduced to the granny, she's having a go at him for something, and then she says, "Never mind, just give me some more sugar." And then Shaq goes from a distance, not anywhere near her. He just purses those beautiful lips and makes a really, really loud kissing noise.
You just give me some more sugar.
I like the way he picks up that fucking kid like he was nothing.
Yeah.
The kid just heads towards him on a little scooter, I think, or a skateboard, and the fucking Shaq just grabs him like he was a thought to be plucked out of the air.
There is some good Batman Highlander steam in this
Oh,
film.
yeah.
It's a comic book thing, but does America steam like that?
It did in the 90s. There was a big steam problem. Nobody was getting their steam.
America, how do you work?
By steam. It's steam powered.
Then release Half-Life 3.
It makes sense. You know it. Oh, God, the brother has a great line. He says, no, the little kid, whatever he is. He says of another guy, his brother's got more time than a clock. That's a great line.
There's a lot of good stuff of Shaq picking things up like it's nothing. When the kid who's running away from him into the train thing and slips through a locked door, Shaq just picks it up and moves it.
Some of the explosions look fantastic, and when they first used the the sound gun on that store and it blows up. That looked brilliant.
Yeah. What also looked brilliant was when Shaq smashes up the phone booth and it just leaves a guy standing there staring, and he's doing his best shocked face. Like, I know I'm just an extra, but I'm looking for a big role in my next film.
As shocked man.
Yeah. It's very good. You really know that he's shocked.
Oh, Keanu Reeves got it. He went the other way. Fuck. Oh, well. That's the risk you take in business. You either go big or you go Keanu.
Always works for Keanu for some reason.
He always makes the right call. It's free fucking pizza! One time it went big. Worked perfectly. Yeah, it's something like, it's another line that Shaq has of just the kid says something like, oh, they hang out over at the arcade. They're gonna hang, all right.
Yes, Shaq. Yes.
I don't believe you for a second. You're gonna buy them all sweets. And then have a good talk with them.
At the very most, you'll give them a good pants kick. And there is a good one in this film. He does pants kick. He's like Capam. Shaq's attempt to cheer up Sparks is sad, I thought.
Aww.
When she's just staring glumly out of that filthy window.
Fuck, only good for veterans. Not for real people.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when Sparks is working on a circuit board and a little spark shoots out at her and she kind of recoils and then she just smiles and gets back to work like, oh, circuit board.
When she falls and she starts to cry, then she takes a resolute breath and decides that she's got to do something about this, and there's no use in feeling sorry for herself. She was brilliant in that scene. She was really good. That she went through so many stages from like, wallowing in self-pity to like an angry self-determination to a kind of right, fuck this. It was a really good moment, and I know that it was really weird for them to be like, no, let's just see how this pans out. But and then to be like watching her and grinning at her when she turns around and looks at them. But I really like that scene. I thought it was good. I like the interaction when between the three of them, between Shaq, Shaft, and Sparks. Fuck, you need Bruce Dern in this movie so we fucking know who someone is, for God's sake.
I'm Shaq the basketballman.
But when he's saying, I don't know, guys, this is going to get dangerous, Sparks goes, I laugh at danger. And fucking Shaft goes, I boogie with danger like a soul-trained dancer. I do not know what that means, Shaft, but that's beautiful. You're a poet.
He was around in the 70s. My favourite moment in Shaft comes really early on when two policemen come up to him. And one of them says, where you going, Shaft? And he says, to get laid. Where you going? He laughs so hard at his own gag. It really fucking tickled me when I saw it.
Wow, Kowalski, that Shaft is a real douchebag.
He's right, though.
Shaft!
Make some changes. Waka, 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 waka. He says something like, I feel like I've been dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs. And,
yes.
Sparks says, is that one of Odessa's recipes?
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Racist.
And then at the end of the movie, she compliments Odessa's recipes. Says, oh, that's really good. I heard what you've been saying about my fucking cooking. Talking shit all over this town. I never forget a face. I'm never gonna let you rest. I'm gonna hunt you down, girl. Gonna make you wish you never got crippled in a military accident. I already wish that. Then I win.
There is also the hot dog scene, which I think is fucking iconic. I don't need no pork mess. That's turkey mess. Oh, word? And he takes an enthusiastic bite.
South Central LA, you know.
And then the scene ends with, eat the hot dog. Don't be one. just fucking excellent, Nathaniel Burke.
Good writing. The beleaguered cop who's after Steele, when all hell is breaking loose and Shaq is just fucking rampaging around his town, he says to his partner, try to call it in, which implies he might not be successful because this town is so overworked with crime that maybe no one will come, Judge Dredd style. And I like that. It's a good detail.
Ah, man, making his exit by stepping back on the escalator is the best bit of the film.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It's incredible.
Ba, 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 ba. Maximum weight exceeded. No, come on.
Come on, baby.
Get me up there. Could you spread your weight a little?
Just cuts back to him, like prone. Spread eagle, face up on the escalator as he's moving up, just giving a thumbs up.
Shaft and dog was great. Shaft as a dog. And in the end, he's kind of bonding with that dog in the car park whilst he's meant to be doing an action sequence.
It's how that dog fucking leaps out of the van to kill this guy.
Second!
And then it just cuts, and then it's the same static shot of Shaft just giving her a good old scratch. Going, who's a good girl? Yes,
He's just trying to get the remains of testicles out from the side of its mouth.
The put upon sergeant, when the first time he goes out and shouts hands up.
Yeah.
And Shaq's like, I'll put my hands up. And he then does a grappling hook thing. And the white guy goes, that's hands all the way up. And he just fucking looks at him like he's shit, like he's nothing. And then the second time he runs out and he goes, get your hands down. It's very cool.
Oh, fuck. It's Sparks' line, her badass action line, when I think somebody says something to her.
Kill him! Maybe not.
I don't think so.
There's another option.
Then it's at the end when he's talking to the army general guy, who says the line, "The seal squealed and fingered Nathaniel." What an amazing line! What a fucking piece of poetry there. And then the deal is sealed when it cuts then to the shot of the assistant with two phones next to it on her face, trying to figure out where Shaq is.
Well, my last note is actually about her because a moment later, Sparks says something like, "They're gonna think we're coming from Cincinnati" or something like that.
Yeah.
And the assistant is like, Sir, we traced the call," and she's so happy.
Yeah.
I just love how happy she is that she got the call. And the sergeant's already like, damn you, Shaq. How about that OGT?
Well, you're talking about that OG team. Now we got one.
Shut your mouth. Just talking about OG team. I can dig it.
Well, it seems that not that many people could dig it because we only had one response today, and maybe that's because nobody's seen Steel.
Maybe. Something we need to rectify. Go see Steel. It's hilarious.
One better thing. It was OGT VIP Matthew Gray, a Clockwork writer, who said, "I appreciate Warner Brothers and their attempt to give the film honour by releasing it as part of their archive collection."
I mean, it was in the archive.
Did not know that?
Yeah, it was on the image you tweeted.
Oh, boy. I didn't look at images. Where am I? Fucking Rupert Murdoch.
What am I, John Paul Getty Jr.? Ha! Google that. Anyway.
God, yours is way better.
I don't even know what. I think it was the third. Anyway.
Thanks, OG team.
Thanks, OG team. So,
Team.
we're going to talk about the one better thing now, but what we're really talking about, the one legitimately better thing. The one legitimately better thing. Okay, so come on, guys. It's a big black guy in his community. It's a working class hero. It's a different kind of hero. It's about representation. I mean, it's Luke Cage.
Yeah.
It's Luke Cage, and it's fucking great, the TV show. Netflix, Marvel Netflix, they've put some feet wrong now and then, but not with Luke Cage. He was the best thing about the Defenders, and, well, no, Jessica Jones was. He's the second best thing about the Defenders, and he's got one of the best shows going out there. It's 2 seasons now, 26 episodes, and, I'm not a big fan of the whole 13-episode long season thing, and I think in season 1 of Luke Cage they did kind of a misstep.
Gonna ask if the second season rectified that.
Yeah, actually, I can't think of anywhere in the second season that it does go off the rails. I think it pretty much holds that tension really well throughout.
Great.
I mean, at the center of the whole thing, you've got Mike Coulter giving this tremendously charismatic and massive performance as Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And he's great because he offers all these facets of this character, this street image. Because what's most interesting about him is that he becomes a sort of cult icon in his neighborhood, and everyone's looking up to him and asking him for help, and it's about how he feels about that. You've got amazing supporting roles like Simone Missick, who's plays Misty Knight, this Harlem NYPD detective who has a sort of supernatural ability to intuitively look around crime scenes. It's kind of like Hannibal. You've got Thea Rossi as Shades, who's a fucking delight every moment he's on screen.
It's an OGT favourite.
He is, and he gets really good in the second season. He gets very complicated. Rosario Dawson's there, as always. Yeah. And fucking okay, no spoilers, Mahershala Ali as Cottonmouth is fucking great in the first season. He's really fucking great. And in the second season, I know it's drawn some controversy because of the Jamaican accent, but Nicolas Cage is the fucking main bad guy. Is amazing. No, that's not it. What's his name? He's not here. Here he is. Mustafa Shakir as John McIver, or the Bushmaster.
Okay.
The head of the Yardies. He's great. He's a really charismatic lead. Villain, rather. So yeah, Luke Cage. It's fucking great. It's a great superhero story.
Great.
Being told in this grand scale. So go watch it. All of it.
Blade would be the obvious. I think we've already done it for a thing, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to go.
Trilogy.
I feel like we have, and I didn't want to go the other obvious. Oh, because he's a black superhero.
Yeah.
So then I thought, what about sportsmen becoming sort of household names in Hollywood? But so I thought maybe something from the career of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but some of his films aren't very good, and we've already recommended all the good ones. Then there's Gina Carano and Haywire, but we've already recommended that.
Yeah.
So the obvious remainder is Dead Man's Shoes by Shane Meadows.
Starring noted baseball man Paddy McConsidine. Paddy McConsidine. That's right.
Paddy Considine returns to northern hometown from Tarmy to see his brother and rid the place of the local hoodlums using his unique set of skills, mostly being a scary monster, folding people up in suitcases, and removing people's ability to eat pot noodle forever,
and memorably calling people cunt
in a raincoat. It's fucking
You'll never forget it
stuff
because of that.
It's a really dark, brooding piece from Shane Meadows.
Yeah.
For me, his best, even better than This Is England. It's so tight. It's sort of, I guess, emotionally a very difficult film to watch. There's a lot of sadness in there, but Paddy Considine alone carries this film. It doesn't matter. There's an excellent supporting performance from Tony Kebbell.
Yes. Dr. Doom.
Yes, Victor Von Normal name himself, Tony Kebbell, who's absolutely brilliant in it. It's a story of vengeance, and it's a story of small.
Yeah.
It's a story that so accurately portrays small town crime. It's really quite unsettling to watch. It's gonna fucking stick in your memory.
It sure will.
Tell you that.
There's a darkness at the center of British hooliganism. There's an aggressiveness and a senselessness in there that's really unique, I think, at least to me, being a British person, uniquely relatable and frightening. And I don't think I've ever seen it captured better than, by Shane Meadows, especially in this.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough watch, but it's very powerful.
Yeah. In that respect, it's not at all like Steel. But it is better, so... And it's a thing.
Yeah. It's unambiguously better.
Yeah.
And that was the one better thing. The one legitimately better thing. So, Paul, where can people find out about one good thing?
Well, first off, thanks to launching the pilot for recommending Steel. That was fun. Everyone watch it.
That was great.
You can contact us on Twitter and Facebook at OGTPod. Send us an email at Gmail, ogtpod@gmail.com. You should check us out on YouTube. We are in the process of very slowly putting up videos of some of our best bits. So if you want to recommend
the very
friend,
best,
but they're not really into the old going for an hour-long episode when you don't really know the pools, haven't even been introduced, you need a chaperone along with you, the lights are too low in this disco, stop it! Then...
Let me out!
These are 3-4 minute snippets. They're going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. Oh, yes. Other than that, you can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher, Podbean. My novel Doghead is available on Amazon for $5.99. Get it! It's books and jingles from OGT Pod.
It is books.
Available on ogtpod.bandcamp.com. Get them! They're jingles.
That novel is books.
Yeah, that novel is bare books, blood.
It's the dog's books.
The bee's books.
This is the books.
What about your Screen Mayhem reviews?
They're on Screen Mayhem.
Wow.
I'm Paul Saltz.
I'm Paul Goodman.
And remember, the one good thing about Steel is a 7-foot, 300-pound man running slowly up an escalator in a 200-pound suit.
The showdown